Hello everyone and welcome back to Closet Gaming. Today we are going to take a look at Hyperrun. This arcade racing slash trick game promises to bring back the nostalgic feelings you experienced while playing games like Tron or the Tony Hawk's games. It is available on Steam for €9.99, their regional equivalent. When I first saw this game, I was pretty excited for this. A game that combines racing and tricks? That does sound like a great fun casual time game. But the question is, as always, will it deliver the fun it promises? And right off the bat, I'm gonna say, the game does not deliver. And while that might mean you won't listen to what I have to say further, it doesn't matter, it needs to be said. But let's start with the game mechanics. Well, you know what? First, I think we should look at something I found really confusing when I started the game. It's not really a racing game, and the fact that it's listed under the racing tag on Steam is pretty much a disgrace in my opinion. If anything, it's actually closer to the Tony Hawk's games, but even here the game is massively less fun because of the lack of free movement. Now let's go into the mechanics. In Hyperrun, you become one of the racers of the massively popular future sport of driving a motorcycle very fast in straight lines. Seriously, whoever came up with the idea that this sport will be popular was not very clever. And while the speeds are higher than what we're currently seeing in motorcycle racing, unless you become really good in this game, they won't reach ridiculous levels. And because the game is quite boring, it is very doubtful that you will reach that level of skill. Apart from driving quickly in straight lines, you can do tricks. Those are done by mashing a certain button combination and jumping. And the tricks are really boring. They just spin you around and the goal is to reach the highest score. And that's all there is to the game. You can do these things in one of the two modes. Either you go on a track and try to go the furthest and fastest you can get while picking up speed gradually, or you go into a trick park where you got a bit more space to do the tricks. And both of the modes are really boring. The race mode isn't a race. There are no enemies to beat. You are just going along, trying to reach the highest speed. The trick park can be at least a bit entertaining for a while. You just jump around and do tricks. The problem with the trick is that they aren't really a lot of them, and they're all done by simply mashing the A and D keys. And even the patterns are super simple. Just either alternate between the two keys, or just one of them for a few times and then the other one a few times. This isn't fun for a very long time. Another thing that I really disliked about Hyperrun is the fact that it uses procedurally generated tracks. I mean, why? It just means your results don't come fully from your skill, but are also heavily influenced by how lucky you get with your track. Whether you get a track with a lot of quick turns that require your full focus, or whether you get one of these longer pieces of road and you get a bit more time to orient yourself and prepare for the next turn. Not fun at all. So, gameplay-wise, Hyperrun is super lacking in any substance. It's just driving in a straight line while performing a few really simple tricks. Okay, I think I've criticized the mechanics enough to the point where you guys understand why I didn't like the game much. It's time to move on to the graphics. And here, I'm actually going to be a bit more positive. So, Hyperrun uses this very heavily stylized graphics, and they do fit the game pretty well for most part. The complaint I have is the fact that they are highly repetitive, and after playing for like half an hour, you will see everything the game has to offer in terms of the graphical assets. This may be a problem for some of you guys there. For me, it was sort of a minor issue considering the larger issue of the boring gameplay. Now to tell you guys about the only thing that I really enjoyed while playing Hyperrun. The music. Man, does this game have music that fits it well. It is very fast paced and is actually the only thing that made me stick to the game longer than it deserved. And now on to the performance. And here I'm sort of split. Because while the game runs well and doesn't have any noticeable bugs and doesn't crash, there are a lot of weird decisions made during the development, and while releasing the game, I cannot just put into any other category than here. So first of all, the settings menu is incredibly lacking. And by that, I mean that most of the options are here, but they just don't work. The only part of the settings menu I could actually access is the controls mapping. I mean, seriously, who releases a game without a settings menu that works? I can adjust the resolution, the volume, or anything else. Another thing is that when exiting a race, or the trick part, it just abruptly takes you out. The game just freezes for a few seconds as it's loading the menus and just directly goes there. No transition at all, and it just feels really weird. So, in conclusion, Hyperrun is not a good game. It claims to be inspired by the great games of old, but it took only the things we didn't like about them and didn't improve on their mechanics at all. If anything, it only simplified them. And the price the developer is asking for this is much higher than what is warranted. If the game cost like $2, it would be a decent buy. But at the price of €10, it just doesn't warrant the buy. So, that's it for today, guys. Hope you liked the review, and if you did, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel. And comment if you have something you would like to add. See you guys later with more gaming content.